evening to all the attendees, 12th grade students and parents, counselors, etc. Thank you so much for joining us for the Knowledge at KPT Admissions 101 workshop series this evening. I also want to thank our esteemed panelist, Ms. Asta Wadhwa from the University of Kansas, who has taken a kind time to present to the workshop session today. And as many of you know from our outreach campaign, the topic for the day will be the US application process. And as you've seen in our outreach campaign, the first, Ms. Asta Wadhwa will not only be sharing information about the US application process, but also about her esteemed institution, the University of Kansas. As many of you know, please ensure to post all your questions in the Q&A box and not in the chat box. And at the end of this session, Ms. Asta would be more than happy to answer all your lovely questions. Having said that, I'm now going to hand over the stage as well as the microphone to Asta. Asta, it's an immense pleasure to welcome you to the program. Thank you once again, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Kunal. Good evening, everyone. My name is Asta. I'm India representative for University of Kansas. I want to thank you all for joining us today. And I want to thank Mr. Kunal Parekh for this wonderful opportunity. I hope this webinar turns out to be informative and useful for each one of you planning to apply to US. I will be speaking about the application process, which students need to follow while they are applying to the US universities. What are the different components they can work on and how they can prepare each and every document listed on the slide. So whenever I recommend a student, I'm counseling a student, I always recommend them to start their research about the universities they wish to apply to well in advance. And if they're planning to start their application, they should start at least 10 to 12 months prior to the program start date. Now, every university in US is different. They have different deadlines depending upon the program you are planning to apply for. So here I can share a small piece of advice. What you can do is when you're researching for the universities, you can make a small tracker or a calendar wherein you can add all the details about the university, like what are the specific documents, what are the different deadlines, early deadline, all these details, so that you don't have to keep going back to the university website time and again. So for most of the US universities, the application starts from 1st of August. That means it has already started. Now, every university will have a different deadline. Few will have a deadline of say November end or December beginning. Few may will accept the application on a rolling basis. Now, if you're planning to apply for fall 2021 intake, then that means you should have started your application by now. You still have a lot of time and you can start your application anytime in the month of August. How can you apply? How can you start with your application form? There are two options. You can either apply through Common App or university website. So Common App is very popular among students because most of the universities are listed on Common App. And you can apply to multiple universities and you don't have to submit your basic information again and again. So that is why a lot of students prefer to apply through Common App. Having said so, there are various universities who are not there on Common App. So for them, you may well have to apply directly from their website. A small piece of advice here, because US has more than 4,000 universities. I'm sure you have a lot of universities to choose from. You will have a lot of programs to choose for. What I can recommend you here is try and apply to not more than 8 to 10 universities, honestly, because every university has an application fee involved, which varies somewhere between $50 to $110 US. So I'm sure you don't want to spend most of your money just applying on your on the application fee. So this is something you would want to consider while you're shortlisting the universities and applying to them. The next important factor is your academic transcripts. So transcripts basically are the certified copies of your educational record. It includes your course and your grades. So most of the universities will want an original transcript or a certified copy sent by your high school when you're applying for admission. So usually universities require your transcript starting from your 9th to your 12th grade. But when you are applying, because you are applying well in advance, so you may not have your 12th grade result, I mean your official transcript, right? In that case, you can submit 9 to 11th official transcript, and for the 12th grade, your school can provide you predicted scores. And most of the universities rolls out offer basis your predicted scores, so that should be fine. Moving forward to standardized test scores. So when I say standardized test scores, it involves your English proficiency. Considering we are from India, we will require English proficiency score. So you can appear for IELTS, TOEFL, PTE. You can also appear for a Duolingo exam, and you can submit your score to the university. That is very important, the specific test. And then comes the SAT, ACT or AP exams. If students want to appear for the SAT or ACT, they can also choose that now. Here, what program you are applying for, which university you are applying for, it is very important, because not every university may require an SAT or ACT score, or maybe the program you are applying for may not require SAT or ACT score. Just to give an example here, if I talk about University of Kansas, we don't require an SAT or ACT score for our psychology program. But if you're applying to our School of Business or Engineering, we will require an SAT score. So these are the few details which you would want to check. And at the end of the day, I recommend students to take their SAT or ACT exam, because it adds value to your profile. And when you are applying for scholarships, it really gives weightage to your profile and gives you an edge over other students if you have a great SAT score. So this is something you can look at. Apart from it, most of the universities would require letter of recommendation. So basically, a letter of recommendation describes your qualifications and skills which are related to your education. So in a letter of recommendation, you can what needs to be discussed is your qualities and capabilities that make you a perfect fit for the specific university or the program. So these are the things you would want to add to your letter of recommendation, and make sure whosoever is writing the letter of recommendation for you knows you very well, so that they can add all the relevant information for you. Apart from it, who can write your letter of recommendation? Your principal, your teachers, your school counselor can write it. Even your personal tutor, they can also write the letter of recommendation for you. Talking about essay and personal statements. So again, essay and personal statement are not required by all the universities. Few universities may require it for admission purpose. Few universities may require it for scholarship purpose. It totally depends. You'll have to check with the university. Now, what exactly is an essay and a personal statement? So essay basically is a small short story about your personal experience and your learnings from that specific experience. It kind of conveys a sense of unique character you have to the admission and the scholarship committee. When you are applying, when you're submitting your application through Common App, you will see there are 7 topics, and you can just pick any one topic and tell the story behind it. Make sure, an essay reflects your personality beyond your grades, your after school activities. So it kind of reflects your personality, and it gives the admission officer an understanding of your character and helps them take a decision whether you are a right fit for the student community or not. So it is very important that you write your essay in, I would say, in very simple words. Don't go for slangs or very flowery language. Keep it to the point. Follow the word limit. And definitely don't copy paste from anywhere online. You can definitely go through some ideas which are available online, but your essay has to be your story in your own words. So make sure you follow all these things, and I'm sure if you write a good essay, it will definitely help you get into your dream university. Not just that, it will also help you bag great scholarships. So talking about us, we have our scholarships which goes up to full tuition fee waiver. So when you're applying for our KU International Excellence Award, we do require an essay. So this is how a essay is very helpful for you. Whereas a personal statement is required by few universities in addition to your Common App essay. So basically, a personal statement is more focused on a specific program and the university you are applying to. So you can add the details about the university and the program in your personal statement. It helps the admission committee to understand what has influenced your career path so far and your professional interest, and where do you see yourself few years down the line. So it gives them a clarity whether the program you are applying for, if you're a right fit for that program or not. So the basic difference between an essay and personal statement is a personal statement helps you get into a specific program and a specific university, whereas an essay helps the admission team to understand whether you are a good fit for this specific university or not. Moving forward to resume. So resume is optional. Not every university is going to ask you to submit a resume. But if they are asking for a resume, you should definitely submit a resume because it is a brief snapshot about you and your achievements at this point of time in your life. So you can add about your education background. You can probably add your overall GPA, your SAT scores in case you wish to. You can add about maybe a summer school you attended, or maybe you've done some certificate program. You can add those details. You can add about internships or volunteer work experience you have. So these are few things you can add to your resume. Apart from it, portfolio again is very optional, and it totally depends on the program you are applying for. If say you are applying for an architecture program, so that is when you will have to submit a portfolio. Now every university will have certain guidelines which you will have to follow while you're making a portfolio. What you can do is you can visit the university website to check what are the guidelines and accordingly make your portfolio. Even if you are applying for a dance major or a music major, you may will have to submit your portfolio. So that is how that is when it is required, not for all the programs. Talking about the Skype interviews, again it varies from university to university. So if there may be a university which wants to interview their students at the time of admission. Few may would want to interview students for scholarships, and at times even if you're applying to a certain program like a music major or a theater major, the team may would want to interview for that specific program to understand whether you fit into that program or not. So Skype interview is very is optional. It's not part of not part of application process for all the universities. uh, Talking about the last thing, which is the financial statement, again not every university requires it at the time of application. Yes, universities do require it when you're applying for I-20, but not at the time of application. But few universities in US do require a financial statement even at the time of application. So in order to admit you to a certain program, they would want to see whether you have like a balance for entire 1 year, which can take care of your living expense and tuition fee both. Once they see the financial statement, once you submit it, then only they roll out the offer for you. So these are few basic steps and documents which you can you can look at when you're applying to US universities. But I would still recommend, if you're starting your research about different universities well in advance, it will give you an idea what all documents exactly are required for the program you are planning to apply, and how you can go about it. Moving forward to our next slide, as I said, I'm the India representative for University of Kansas. Here I would want to share a brief overview about University of Kansas. I'm not very sure how many of you are aware where Kansas exactly is. So if you see the US map, we are right in the middle of the US. Kansas is, University of Kansas is in Lawrence, which is like 40 minutes away from Kansas City. And Lawrence is a small town with a population of 100,000 people. People are very warm, welcoming, and cheering in Lawrence. You'll find small cafes all around the city. So it is a very warm and friendly place to live in. You do experience all the weathers while staying in Lawrence. So starting from spring to summer to fall to winter, you experience all the four weathers. We are also ranked in top 10 college towns. Lawrence is also ranked in top 10 college towns. We have a population of 28,000 students on campus with 2,100 international students from 100 plus countries. So, I mean, you can imagine you're going to meet a bunch of smart, interesting, entertainment people from across the world and learn so much from them. So, I would say we are all about diversity and learning at every point of time. University of Kansas is also part of Association of American Universities. We are also ranked in top 150 universities in the US. Talking about various clubs and organizations, we do have 600 plus clubs and organizations for students to participate in, starting from our golf club to basketball, which is one of my favorite because we are part of NCAA Division 1. Not just that, the person who co-invented the basketball rules was the first coach at KU. We have framed his rules and kept in a museum on campus. In case any of the basketball fans, you can visit our website, have a look on the pictures of the museum, and learn more about our basketball team. Not just that, every year our basketball event is very huge. I don't know how it is going to be this year considering the COVID situation, but last year Snoop Dogg was the one who started our basketball event. So basketball is very huge for us. But students who are not interested in basketball, we do have 600 plus clubs for you to look at, starting from academics to athletics. You can choose anything. Apart from it, we do have 11 residential halls and 12 scholarship halls available on campus. In case you can have a look on our housing facilities on our website. We do have various food plans, meal plans, where in case a student wants a specific kind of cuisine, we can alter the plan. If you're allergic to something, these are the provisions which are provided by our team. Apart from it, we do have recreational centers and various other clubs which students can be a part of. Talking about student services, we do have international student services. We have tutoring services in case a student needs some hand holding in some specific subject. They can definitely opt for this specific service. One thing I want to mention here is our career center. So our career center is great because every year, yes, they do organize various career fairs for students. I mean, most of our departments, they have career fairs twice a year. And apart from it, they don't only help you apply for jobs, they help you to they help you prepare for interviews. They take your mock interviews, help you prepare your resume, tell you how to dress up for an interview. Apart from it, even like an interesting fact is, I know for a matter of fact, they also help students to negotiate at the time they get offers. I mean, if they think the salary you are being paid is less, they help you negotiate in those terms. If they think the benefits you are getting are not up to the mark, they will help you with that as well. So this is something I really like about our career center. So I just wanted to share this with you. Moving forward to the undergraduate major programs we offer 200 plus undergraduate programs. I am going to speak about few of our popular programs. So considering we are a tier 1 public research university, we are very popular for our School of Engineering. We do at any given point of time, we have about 400 researchers going on campus. So our students, even if they are in their first semester and their freshman year, they have the opportunity to participate in various research if they are interested. We do have all the majors starting from mechanical engineering, petroleum engineering, to aerospace engineering, which is one of our most competitive programs. Our aerospace lab is funded by NASA and NSF. So I just want to share a small example of research here, which our students are part of. So our students, they currently are working with CREASES in our aerospace lab. So CREASES is the Center for Remote Testing of Ice Sheets. Our students, with them together, are building a small component which can be attached to UAVs and small aircrafts. And then the team of engineers and scientists for whom we are building these small components, they fly those aircrafts over places like Antarctica. What they are trying to do is they are trying to create a 3D picture of life of an ice shield. These are the kind of researches which you can be part of, and you can even learn a lot before about the professional world before you enter the professional world. So this is something which may interest you, and you can visit our website to check more about the different researches that we are part of. Apart from it, our computer science program again is very popular among students. I mean, just to share an example here, if you check Google Earth, you will see Lawrence is the starting point of Google Earth. That is because the co-creator, he's a KU alumni. Not just that, he's also the current professor. So we believe in giving you the best possible education once you're on campus. And recently, the same professor, he has built an app which is basically a non-profit for non-profit. So he's built an app for the community in Lawrence. They all have to put in their health details on that specific app, and if the app thinks that you don't have any symptoms of COVID, then only it gives you a QR code. Now, if once you have the QR code, then only you can enter our university premises. So this is the app which most of the professors, students, everyone on campus is going to use once they have to enter the university premises, considering we are starting our in-person classes from fall 2020 itself. Moving forward to the architecture, design and planning department, we are very popular for our architecture and design programs. Our architecture degree is very popular for two reasons. The first one is we offer you a degree which is a 5 years program. It is a combination of undergrad and postgrad basically. So you'll end up completing your undergrad and postgrad both in 5 years, and it is a licensed program. That is one reason which makes it very popular among students. The other one is the hands-on experience our students they get while they are pursuing the architecture program at KU. So our final year students, they have an opportunity to apply to a non-profit organization which is called Studio 804. Now, Studio 804 is created by the university. Every year they would build a new wing on campus. At times they also build theme-based houses, and they sell those houses as well. So, and even if you research, you will see Kansas City has a lot of architectural firms. So they prefer hiring students from KU just because of the experience they get, hands-on experience they get while they're studying architecture program at KU. Moving forward to our School of Journalism and Mass Comm. Our School of Journalism and Mass Comm again is in top 30 in the US. We are very popular for mass communication, journalism and mass communication. We have our own radio station on campus. We have our own newspaper on campus. I mean, you get all the details about things happening on campus or in Lawrence or in Kansas. In case you want, you can also follow us on Facebook. Our newspaper is also there on Facebook. We have our own news channel on campus. Our students, they go and interview professors regarding their research. They go and interview athletes before and after the event. This is how they learn before entering the professional world. This is how they get an idea how do they have to work, probably holding a mic, holding a camera, what kind of what kind of gesture you should have, how you have to speak, how confident you have to be, the storytelling part. All these things you learn during the program. Apart from it, we are very popular for our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Most of our programs, they fall under College of Liberal Arts and Science. Like our research programs starting from physics, astronomy, chemistry, biology, all these programs fall under College of Liberal Arts and Science. Here I want to share a small details about a notable alumni. I'm sure you all are aware about Mr. Anand Burman. He's the CEO of Dabur. So he's also a KU graduate. He studied a research major at KU. Yes, we are very popular for research, but we are not just about research. We have various other opportunities for you. We offer 40 plus languages. If you're interested, we offer undecided as a major. If you're not sure what exactly you want to do, you can also start as an undecided student. We offer theater, film and media studies to our students. Here, if you guys know Ant-Man from Marvel, Mike from Friends, he's a KU alumni. He studied theater. Rob Rickles is a KU alumni. He studied theater. So this was a brief overview about our popular programs and what do we have to offer. Moving forward to our next slide, which, as I said, we are a tier 1 public research university. So last year, our budget for undergraduate research was 73,000 US dollars. And talking about our application process and various scholarships. So every year our application starts 1st of August. We are there on Common App, and you can also apply directly through our website. So usually we just require your transcript, ninth grade to your 12th grade for your application, and for 12th you can submit your predicted scores. Apart from it, in case you're looking at a major like a major in School of Engineering, Business, or a major in architecture, then you will have to appear for an SAT exam for a direct entry to your major. If you're planning to take admission to a College of Liberal Arts and Science, then SAT is not mandatory. Talking about various scholarships, our scholarships starts from 3,000 US dollar. If you meet the GPA requirement, which is 3.25 to 3.49, if you fall somewhere between that, then you are given the scholarship automatically. And this is a renewable scholarship. If you maintain your GPA every year, you get it for all the 4 years. Then the other one is the 6,000 US dollar. Again, you meet the overall GPA requirement, you get the scholarship for all the 4 years. Then comes our international merit scholarship, which is 9,000 US dollar. You meet the GPA requirement, then you get it automatically. Now, moving forward to our International Excellence Award, which is like a full tuition fee waiver scholarship in which you just have to take care of your living expense. We have a separate application for this one, first of all, and we require certain documents when you are applying for this scholarship. So this specific scholarship, once you receive your offer, after that you need to apply for it separately. You have to submit letter of recommendation for this specific scholarship. You have to write an essay for which topics are available on our website. You can have a look. Apart from it, we'll require a good SAT score, which is like 1300 and above, and a GPA somewhere between 3.5 to 4, but higher the GPA and SAT score, more beneficial it is for students. Apart from it, we do require a resume if you intend to apply for this scholarship. So these are the few details about the scholarships. In case you'll have more questions about scholarships, you can definitely ask me by the end of the presentation. And our annual fee is 42,616 US dollar. If you get any scholarship starting from 3,000 US dollar, 6,000 US dollar, 9,000 US dollar, and the full tuition fee waiver, that amount will be deducted from your tuition fee. Here we have mentioned certain details about the amount which you'll be paying after deducting the scholarship amount. So this was a brief overview about what is our admission process, what are the scholarship requirements, and what kind of scholarships do we offer. In case you have any specific questions, I'll be happy to answer, and I can see there are a few questions in the chat box. So I'll quickly have a look.
Yes, Ms. Asta, please proceed with the questions and in the Q&A box. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Guru. So the first question says, when would universities in US have the deadline for filling the application and sending the documents? So again, whichever program you are applying to, I know there are few universities who have a deadline of 1st of December. But for University of Kansas, we do accept application on rolling basis. But if it is a very competitive program, in that case, you'll have to check the deadline. But usually for us, it is on rolling basis. And for documents, once you start your application, I'm sure you will have your transcripts from 9th to 11th grade, which you can submit, and also your predicted scores. And along with your IELTS, I can understand you may not have your SAT score at that time, which you can again submit later. It is really not a problem. But check with universities you are planning to apply to, because a lot of universities are going SAT optional this year. So check with the university whether you need to appear for the SAT or not. And with KU, we still are accepting SAT. We have not gone SAT optional. Okay, so the next question says, will CBSE student be exempted from the English test exams as the studies has been taught in English? So with University of Kansas, we still require you to appear for an English proficiency exam to get admitted to our program. Otherwise, students, they have to study the English program on campus, which I would not recommend, because I'm sure once you'll appear for an English proficiency exam in India, you'll be able to clear it, because we just require an overall of 6.5 and no band less than 6 if you're appearing for IELTS. The next question is, would our documents from school need to be sent from courier to enroll? So you can email your documents. That is really not a problem. I mean, you can upload the PDF, but when you're traveling to university, you can carry the original documents with you. For letter of recommendation, how many should we submit? Who should we approach? So for letter of recommendation, usually you require 2 to 3 letter of recommendation. Now, as I said, a letter of recommendation will speak about your capabilities to pursue a specific program in a specific university, right? So you can definitely approach your principal, your teacher, your counselor, school counselor, or even your personal tutor. But whosoever you are approaching, that person should know you and should be able to share all the necessary information about you. So that is something which is very important. The next question is for financial statement. What is required for your university for admission and visa? So for University of Kansas, we don't require financial statement along with your application. You need to submit your financial statement if when you're applying for I-20. And when you're submitting your financial statement, it has to be your bank statement, which has a balance of 1 year of your I-20 cost. That is your living expense and tuition fee. So that is what is required. Again, it can be sent in the form of a PDF. You don't have to courier the documents. So the next question is, how difficult would it be for students to join the clubs and activities you have mentioned? So you can join the clubs. There won't be any difficulty, but in case you plan to play at national level, if you're joining some sports wherein you plan to play at national level, that is something which will be difficult for you. But in case you are just you just want to join a club and just be involved, that should be fine. We have 600 plus clubs, and you can join any club which you wish to. So our class faculty ratio is 17:1, very small class size, but considering the current scenario, our classes are hybrid and online, and students who are in US who can make it to the university, they'll be going to university. There will be a certain change in the timetables, and we'll try and keep the class strength maybe even lesser than 17. So yeah, that is something we are still working on. So the next question is, are there any business programs that we offer? So yes, we do offer business program. Our School of Business is very popular. It is ranked in top 100 in the US, and we have all the majors starting from business analytics. And just to add here, business analytics is listed as a STEM program with the University of Kansas. And we have leadership in management, marketing, finance, accountancy, entrepreneurship as a minor, international business. So you can look at all these options. We do have a School of Business, which is again very popular among students. What are the scholarship opportunities with the University of Kansas for Indian students? As I said, we just provide merit-based scholarships. We don't have need-based scholarships. So there are various scholarships you can look at. I spoke about a few in my slide, which starts from 3,000 US dollars and goes up to full tuition fee waiver. But there are few department-based scholarships which students can look at, and there are also few scholarships like which students can apply for once they are on campus. So apart from merit-based scholarships, these are the scholarships which you can look at once you plan to study at KU. How can undergraduate students combine engineering with media studies? Great. So it is a great question. We do have, you can definitely take a major in any of, like you can select any major from our School of Engineering, but, and you want to take a minor in media studies, that is an option. So we do have media studies. You can have a look on our website in case you'll have any specific questions. You can definitely get in touch with me, and as of now, all I can recommend is you can take any of the engineering major and a minor in media studies. Uh, are these the minimum GPA requirement for scholarship? And can you please share over your test poly? Okay. So, yeah, the GPA requirements which was mentioned on the slide are for each scholarship. If whatever I would say GPA requirement, like GPA slab you fall in, you get the scholarship accordingly. And all our scholarships are automatic apart from our KU International Excellence Award, which is our full tuition fee waiver scholarship. And if you intend to apply for that, you will require SAT or ACT score. Talking about the test policy for this year, we are still accepting the SAT and ACT score when we are evaluating your profile. In case students, they don't have SAT or ACT scores, what they can do is they can enroll for our pre-business, pre-engineering program. We do offer our students with these options if they don't have SAT scores, and then in their first year they get to study a couple of extra subjects, and once they meet the requirements by the end of the first year, that is when they can select their major. So this is something, in case you don't want to appear for SAT or ACT, this is something you can look at. Living fee, same for all housing. Can living expense become lower if you choose to live in? Yeah, so you can visit, so our overall expense what is 12,000 US dollar per year, which includes all your housing, your transportation cost, your health insurance, stationery, and everything. Now, if you plan to live on campus, there are various options which you can look at. If you're staying in a you're sharing your room, in that case, your cost of living will be a little lesser. If you are taking your own apartment, then definitely the cost of living is going to be a little higher. So that is something you'll have to check on our website. Whatever fits your budget best, you can choose that. And talking about living off campus, yes, we do give our students that flexibility to live off campus, even if they want to start that from the first semester itself. But I recommend students to at least stay on campus for first 6 months, so that you get to know the city, you can make friends, and after that, if you want to move to a private accommodation, you can do that. uh, what would be the what would the information be for campus safety? So talking about the safety on campus, I can share a small example here. We have something called safe ride. So if a student is stuck somewhere out at middle of night, they can just call our safe ride. They can pick you up from that place and drop you to your dorm. They are definitely not going to drop you to another friend's place or some other place. They are going to bring you back to the dorm. So this is something, we make sure our students are safe. And yes, we do have police patrolling our campus. We do have policemen on campus. So yes, it is a safe place to be at. And also you can visit our website to check for more details about the safety measures that are taken at KU. So if you intend to apply for our accounting and finance program, if you're looking at fall 2021 intake, then you need to start your application now, because our application started on 1st of August. You can select accounting or finance, either of it as your major. Once you have the offer, after that you are awarded the scholarship. The first 3 scholarships are awarded automatically, but for the full tuition fee waiver scholarship, our 1st of February 2021 will be the deadline, and after that we can only tell who has received the scholarship. Every year we do give 5 full tuition fee waiver scholarship to Indian students. Can you please go over the application requirement for the admission next year? So, Rochelle, if you could just type it in the chat box. When you say next year, is it fall 2021? If you're looking at fall 2021, then our admission requirements again will depend on the major you are choosing. But we do require your transcript starting from your 9th to your 12th grade. 12th, you can submit predicted scores. Apart from it, we need English proficiency score. And SAT, ACT again is optional. In case you want to submit, you can. If you don't want to, then you can choose the option for pre-engineering or pre-business program. That is something you can look at. And so these are the basic requirements for our application. And if you intend to apply for scholarship, then there is a different application which you will have to submit once you have your offer. So yes, we guide you with housing, and I mean, not exactly roommate selection. There is a housing form you can fill, and if you have any preference or you want to add any additional information, you can add. You can also get in touch with our housing department. They can share all the details about whatever is the availability, and we have various meal plan options. I mean, starting from vegan to vegetarian, and if students have different preference for even they eat a different kind of meat, or if they're allergic to some specific thing, meal plans can be altered. Again, this is something you will have to check with the team. You can check for more details on our website, or you can get in touch with me. I can share the relevant email IDs and the website links. So do we require a separate application for your admission and scholarship review? So once you apply to any of our program, the first 3 scholarships, the 3,000 US dollars, 6,000 US dollar, and the 9,000 US dollar are given automatically. You don't have to apply separately. But if you meet the criteria for our full tuition fee waiver scholarship, KU International Excellence Award, that is when you will require an SAT score, and you will need to apply separately. So yeah, just for that scholarship you need to apply separately, and you will need to submit your letter of recommendations, write an essay for which topics are there on our website, submit a resume, and you need to have a holistic profile. You need to have a very good GPA and SAT score as well. So research opportunities, are there assistantships or part of the program? So we do have various research opportunities available on campus. Students can opt for assistantship. They can work part-time on campus. They can in case you have an idea for your own research, and if you want to propose that idea to the professor, if it is approved, you can also start your own research working with the professor. So these are few opportunities you can look at. To share about the part-time work for international, how much we can expect to go. So as most international students, they can work 20 hours a week part-time during their normal days, whereas during their summer break or winter break, they can work 40 hours a week. The expected per hour wage rate is $11, which you can expect to earn while you're working part-time. You can work part-time on campus. I mean, in the first year, you have to work part-time on campus. If you plan to work part-time off campus, in that case, you have to speak to International Student Services before you take any part-time job off campus. Sure, I can share my email. My email details are there in the presentation. I can share my screen once again after I am done answering all the questions. I will share my email details. Regarding the I-20, what is the amount we have to show? So when you for the I-20, depending upon the I-20 cost is 42,616. It may go a little higher if depending upon the program you choose, maximum up to 44,616. Now, if you get any scholarship, it will be deducted from this amount, and that will be the amount you'll have to show in your account when you apply for the I-20. I think these are all the questions. I
Right.
can share my email ID, which is here. You can take a screenshot of this.
And Asta, I'm so sorry to interrupt
Yeah.
you. Rushil had answered you in the chat box,
Okay.
and he mentioned it out there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm so sorry to miss your question, Rushil. Okay, so yeah, for fall 2021, again, as I said, we require very basic documents for your admission. Those are your transcripts. Then IELTS, I mean, your English proficiency score is required. Apart from it, SAT and ACT score, which you can also submit later, even if you're starting your application now and you want to submit your test scores later, that is fine with us. Our applications are on rolling basis. You can submit that later as well. So these are the only basic documents required for your for admission. I hope that answers your question, Rushil. In case anyone has any other question, please feel free to put it in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer.
Right, Asta. I think there's one more that has come in the Q&A box. Thank you.
Sure. Uh, I am unable to.
The question is from Isha.
Okay.
And the last one, if you, it's all the way down in the Q&A, and it says, can we get scholarships for the second year if we don't get them for the first year? And are the scholarships a one-time scholarship or for each year?
Okay.
Thank you.
So all our scholarships, if you get any of our merit-based scholarship, then yes, these are valid for all the 4 years. But say you don't get any scholarship in the first year, and I mean, you can apply for a department-based scholarship once you're on campus, but I cannot assure it whether you'll get it in your second year or not. So that is something you'll have to check with the department once you are on campus. There are few scholarships which are only available which are only available to apply once you are on campus. I hope this answer your question, Isha. If you have any other question, please feel free to put it in the chat box.
And we have a quick 30 seconds. I mean, about a minute or two. Of course, we can make a couple of minutes
Yeah, sure.
before because I know there were a lot of questions. So thank you so much to all the students and parents for staying back and for for having all of these questions of and for engaging in part of this workshop program. I hope all of you, Asa, would it be possible to copy paste or write down your email address in the chat box? What I typically do is I stay back for about 5 minutes more, just in case someone has not written it down,
That's
so they can just write it down quickly as well.
sure.
Thank you.
So I can put my email address and contact number in the chat box. Um,
And I think
I'll
we have one
sorry.
last question. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead,
Oh no,
please.
I'm just putting in my contact details, like my mobile number,
Okay.
in case anyone wants to contact me. So I've also added details about my mobile number in case anyone is interested to get in touch with me. Thank
That's
you.
wonderful. Thank you so much. Asta, and while you were saying that, there's been one, I believe this may be the last question.
Mhm.
Do you want me to read it for you or
Uh,
the chat box?
I can see it, so I can read it.
Okay,
Thank you so
no
much, ma'am.
problem.
What would be your Indian student body size and what programs do they pursue? So honestly, I'm not very well aware about what is the Indian bodies like Indian student body size, but then Yes, we do have a lot of Indian students on campus, and we do have. I mean, all those students, they have their own community. If you want, you can also. We have an association available, a Facebook group which students can join to learn more about the university, the place. I mean, they keep posting things about I would say housing details for private apartments, even about any updates. If you're looking for any details about the university, if you're traveling, you can check for all the details in that group. So, in case you want, you can join the KU Association of Indian Students on Facebook.
Absolutely. So I'm going to wait for another 30 seconds to see if something else comes in. But I'll begin with my conclusion. So thank you so much, Ms. Asta Wadhwa. It was an immense pleasure to have you as part of our Knowledge at KPT Admissions 101 workshop series. Students and parents, thank you so much for staying back. We know it's 6:37 here. And sorry about the delay from our end to join the program. As I told you, we had a server issue, so we apologize. But thank you so much for waiting back and for all your wonderful questions. I also wanted to state that I'm going to be online for the next 5 to 7 minutes. This is what I typically do. Just in case anyone wants to write down Ms. Asta's email address as well as her mobile number and WhatsApp details, so you all can get in touch with her directly for your questions and take these conversations well after the program has been done for the day. Having said that, I would like to thank you once again for joining us for the program. I wish you all the best. And thank you once again, Ms. Asta, for putting this together and for meeting with all the 12th grade students and parents who are present here today.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kunal Parekh, and it was a pleasure being here. Thanks to all the students and parents who stayed till this time, and to all the wonderful questions you have asked. I was so happy and excited to attend the webinar, and I hope I've shared the relevant information with each one of you, and it was helpful for you. In case you have any other questions, you can always contact me, and I'll be happy to assist. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Asta. I think the information that you shared was wonderful. And, the information about your institution as well was really nice as well to learn for not only, I'm sure, the students, but also for me as well. So I wish you the very best. Please take care, stay safe, and I wish you a pleasant evening. Thank you once
Thank
again.
you. Wish you the same. Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Bye.